on both. Let me know when they're both up.
Oh, we are muted, right?
We need a clock with a countdown. What's happening, everyone? Happy Airbrush Downgrade for tonight. It is a Friday. I figured yesterday was Thursday. I was almost ready, but I figured it'd be more appropriate to do this on Veterans Day since it's Veterans Day theme. So I figured we'll move to Friday night, give me a chance to do a little bit more with it. So what I ended up doing, I ended up making a bunch of vector sets that I had, made them available. They're on the store. They're ready to rock and roll. There are 3 different Battlefield crosses. There's a partial flag we're going to use tonight and a bunch of other silhouettes. We'll talk about it through the night. That is available on McKayfinder.com. And if you're a veteran, use code VALOR and it's half off. Or if you serve this country in multiple ways with, police, fire, whatever, feel free to use that. If you're not, please don't use it. But I'm not releasing it, so it's on the honor system. So let's get started. Let's see who's in the house. Let's check audio. Let's check visual. See how we're doing. Mr. Leahy, I saw as a first poster. Oh, the intro's looping. Should not be looping anymore. I'm going to stop that just in case. And let's see. We got Honey in the house. We got Cody. We have Carl. What's up, Carl? Demetrius. Cool, we got 18 people in. Thank you for joining us Friday night. We got Derek over on Facebook. What else we got over on Facebook here? We got Marvis, Ian, my mom. Hi, Mom. Shane, Quick. So we're going to try to keep Facebook up as long as possible. Past few weeks has been horrible. Every time we try to do it, it bogs down, so I have to shut it down. If that happens, click that link. Get over YouTube where it's always stable. And that would be much better. Hey, Tim, how you doing? So, I think we got good audio, and I didn't hit record, so I'm going to hit record right now. So you have that. Kaylee, try doing record on there, because it's not letting me do it here. Okay. If it doesn't, it doesn't. No big deal. Michael, how we doing, sir? Let me show you a little bit what we have going on here tonight. So, this is the Honoring Our Veterans. It's Veterans Day live feed. And what I've done is I've made this vector set. So you see you got 3 different Battlefield crosses, 3 different positions. And then the supplementary set is basically one of those Battlefield crosses in a perspective, which looks really cool. I've done it on a few bikes before.
The cord's not working.
We have the IwaJima Memorial, POW-MIA. We have another soldier with the Battlefield Cross, and then some helicopters. These are all things I've used in various bikes throughout the years. You know, in my 22 years of doing this full time, 30 years painting, I've done a lot of memorial bikes and baggers and shirts and murals and things. So I have a whole huge collection of different vectors. So I decided to put one together this week for you guys. I know in custom motorcycle world especially, mural world, you'll come across using this quite a bit. So I put these vectors together. You have the silhouettes, you have the details, and then you have some other stuff to use. So I hope you guys find a use for it. And then, like I said, you guys who are vets for this weekend, I'll probably extend it to next week. If you use code VALOR at checkout, you'll get half off this download. All right, so let's see what else we got going on here. Fett Motorworks, yes, you finally made it, sir. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, we got Paul. Paul, how you doing? Brian Olson. It's going well, sir. Thank you. Michael, we see everyone going in. So 30 of you already. Thanks for joining me on a Friday night. I guess you have little social lives like I do. But I'm actually still recuperating from a week long of debauchery and cars and fuel and motors and everything else that goes with being at the SEMA show for a week. So I was just there all last week. It was a great time. Got to hang with a lot of you guys, which was awesome. Thank you for everyone who came up and recognized me from the channel, which was kind of cool. A lot of people don't recognize the channel, which is great. And then just seeing my friends and co-painters and artists and stuff like that who all did a phenomenal job, worked their butts off of various booths. People who've never been don't know how much work goes into it. With us doing demos all over the place and busy schedules and stuff like that. It is fun to be there. It is a blast of time, but it is a lot of work. Those who know, know. Those who don't, say stuff online they shouldn't. But let's not go into that. So, what we got going on here tonight? Let me bring up let's go here. All right, this is what we're working with today. Going next year. Awesome, man. Well, hopefully I get by and watch my demos and hang out and meet us, and we do a lot of cool events, so let me know if you're coming. All right, so what I did, I plotted out the Battlefield Cross itself with all the detail cut in the lines, okay? For saving time, I'm doing this on live. Obviously, I can't do it all. I have to do some stuff ahead of time. So I plotted this out, I weeded out the background, but all the detail cuts are in here. I'm going to overlay this one. And then instead of putting all the flag work in the same design, I'm going to do it as a secondary layer and do an overlay layer, which is a great way to work. Just because you have two components, you can control them a little easier, especially on a big car or project like that. And this is done in the FBS green. We'll talk about that in a little bit and why I chose green. So, I don't know if I have to go over it over again and again, but I will. I'm going to use a hinge technique, so whenever I apply vinyl, I typically do a hinge technique, which is the vinyl's been picked and weeded, it's on a backer, it has transfer tape. In this case, I'm just using a regular transfer tape. I put a piece of tape across the middle, this is the hinge point. And I basically lined up these four corners to my artboard. And I'm going to slowly roll this back. And then basically, I just do a little tear right here, and just tear right out. Super easy. It takes a little practice, but you'll get it. Basic hinge technique, and then just slowly work the air out with a squeegee. And if you want, don't even bother putting those in here, because we ain't using them. That puts that side down. Now, very important, pull the hinge out right now. You want to pull this out now. If you don't pull it out now, and you pull this side, you'll have a piece of backer trapped, and I've done it to myself before. Don't feel bad if you do it, because I've done it, but it does suck, so try not to do it. Pull the tape first. Go up, pull that right out, and then massage this down, squeegee it out, get it nice and on there. Hey Kaylee, if you could try to keep an eye on Facebook posts, because again, the way their chat is, I can't see it.
It's all people just saying hi.
Hi to everyone on Facebook. Like I said before, if it dumps out, please click that link I put in the description and go over to YouTube where the feed is always stable. I don't know why Facebook has become that much of a problem, but it has, and there's not much I can do about it. So, Battlefield Cross. Now, you can't really see it. I will see if I can zoom in. See if I can zoom in. There you go. I think you can see all the cuts, can't you? So all the cut marks are already here. Okay, so all the cuts are already there, all the details, and it basically matches this cut file here. This is the one I used. All these cuts are already in the file. Okay, honey, thank you very much for the super chat. You never fail to disappoint. You never fail. You always take care of me. Thank you very much. I really, really, really appreciate it. For those of you who don't know, super chats are just tips and ways of basically thanking me for doing these feeds. It goes a long way to help me in future feeds. Because a feed like this, because I developed everything and the masking and all of the everybody, this is a day. This is pretty much, I think I started this around noontime. Maybe 1 o'clock when I really got going on it, and that's when we got all the stuff going. We set the lighting up, we set the cameras and everything. So it's really, really appreciated. Super chats, thank you, honey. Yeah, it helps go a long way. And, you know, I also have to thank our sponsors because, you know, Fish Eye Filter and Kenny, one of my big sponsors who takes care of me every month, and all the other companies who take care of me on supplies and water, Createx, FBS, Coast Airbrush, of course, Visionaire, you know, they all have a hand in making this possible as well. You know, it's a lot that goes into these. It doesn't just happen, you know, 5 minutes before I start this. So I got to thank everyone who takes care of me here and at SEMA and stuff like that. We all work together. It's awesome. All right, so I did the blue mask. This is the FPS blue mask, what I used here. Okay, so this has all the detail. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an overlay mask. And a lot of people ask, what's the difference? Why do I use blue, green, you know, the gold mask, all different aspects of it. So when I'm doing an overlay, I usually do my initial graphic in blue, and then I do my next one in the green mask. And the green mask, I don't have, I think Kaylee can pull up the green mask. The green mask is a transparent mask, okay? It is not up. It's okay. So the green mask is very similar to the blue, but the benefit of the green mask is that it's transparent, so you can actually see through it, okay? You can see all the detail of everything you have underneath it. That is the benefit to it.
There we go.
Green mask.
Put it in the wrong slot.
So the green, oh, you put it in DSK2?
Yeah, I didn't
yeah.
reserve too.
So the green mask is transparent, so I'll show you why I do it like this. And like I said, I could make the file so it's all there, but this is a nice way of working with multiple files like you have just lying around. Like I can plot one thing, plot another one, and I can overlay. Now, Honey is saying hi to you, Kaylee.
Hi, honey.
Kaylee is back in full effect. Oh, Michelle is in the house. I was just kind of mentioning you, Michelle. Not entirely, but I was mentioning the fact that we all killed it at SEMA last week and how much work goes into that most people don't see nor understand. And you were definitely one of those people that killed it. It was awesome seeing you. Until you're there doing it, you don't know what's involved. And it was a blast of a time. How does it compare to Orifo? Orifo is... So here's the thing. There is vinyl paint mask that was developed for the sign industry. They come from the sign industry, and it works great for that. It's great because it comes off, but it's not great for super high solvent paints. And the Orifo tends to be 2 to 3 times thicker, so you get a much bigger edge than the FPS products. That being said, like Oracal and 3M and General Formulations, a lot of times what I'm doing... When I'm doing like big lettering, big projects, I don't use this. This stuff is way more expensive because it's very specialized. So I use the FBS products when it really matters. When detail matters, cleanliness matters, and you're on motorcycles and cars. You want really detailed artwork. Orifo, Oracal, like I said, 3M, Gerber, General Formulations, all their paint mask works great. It works good, but it's very thick and it doesn't have the same stretch as this. nor the transparency of the green. So there's a time and a place for everything. So I don't dog on their stuff. It's a great product. You know, say that stuff is the Ford Escort, Ford Mustang, you know, of the paint mask world. This is the Ferrari Lamborghini of the paint mask world. So they both have their place. So definitely have it, but I wouldn't be cutting 12-inch letters out of this for a side of a truck. All right, it's just way too expensive for that. That's not what it's designed for. Okay, so now I have this layer, and you'll see how transparent this is. I almost cut the wrong stuff. I had some prototype green mask, which was like basically the FBS green fine line tape that we attempted to make plottable, and it worked. It didn't work great enough to make a product out of, but I almost cut it out of that. I actually did cut it out of it. I realized, like, oh, that's not going to work. Alright, so again, hinge technique. Now you'll see how transparent this is in 1 second. You can already see it. That's the benefit to doing this. And what's cool about doing it this way is, like I said, multiple overlay graphics that you can kind of plan as you go, instead of like, if you're not really good in Photoshop, I mean, or Illustrator, to like take 2 different vector sets and basically like, you know, edit them so none of the lines crisscross each other or cut each other, this is the best way to do it. Carl, does the level of adhesion play well with overlay masks? Yes, yes it does. And that's one of the big strengths of all the FBS's tapes is they don't overly stick to each other. They stick to each other just enough. You know, that's kind of the big benefit to them. Gary, how's it going, man? I believe, I could be mistaken, but I think it was your birthday the other day, so happy belated, or it could be wrong. If not, I'm sorry. But I think I saw our birthday come up for you. Like I said, I'm still kind of recovering from SEMA. The week after SEMA, I mean, SEMA is a massive week for all of us. It is a lot, like I said, it's a lot of work, and I'm still getting back on track from it. Is that one of the FBS scrapers? No, this is just a regular, blah, 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 blah. Just a regular squeegee. Well, happy belated. I was right. So happy belated, sir. Thank you very much for all your contributions here as well. Oh, the other thing, SEMA, is this is my first drink since SEMA, because after SEMA week, I think all of us had to detox for a week. Right, Michelle? So, now you can see how transparent this is, and what's great about it is you can see through everything. So basically what I did here is, I'll talk about this set for a little bit. So it's basically these 2 files. It is the Battlefield Cross file, along with this flag file, which this flag is part of my flag set that I got coming out. I have a bunch coming out. I have a dozen flags I'm working on right now. That's going to be available soon. Total detox, exactly. So what I did is I cut this one and cut this one, and I cut this out of blue, this out of green, and overlaid it. The set itself includes these 3 Battlefield Crosses with their corresponding silhouettes, and these guys here, which is the IwaJima Memorial. These Cobras, the POW-MIA, which if you do Memorial bikes, you are going to do this one time. This is a very clean cut file. And then we have the U-Soldier with the Battlefield Cross here as well. So these are all part of that download, which if you are a service member, it is 50% off using Valor on McKayFineArt.com. So, I got my beer, my Doritos. Beer and Doritos, man, that's awesome. I'm a Cheez-It guy lately. I'm back on a Cheez-It kick. Alright, so the colors I used tonight, super simple, man. I used Illustration Cerulean Blue. I used Mr. Leahy's favorite red, which is a Pyrrole, I hate the freaking name, Pyrrole Red. I don't know where they come up with these. I used that for the red. I used Candy Black, which is black candy mixed with 40-50, 1-to-1. And then I took that same 1-to-1 and I added a little purple candy to it just for a little extra color if I want it. So let's get started. Masking is done. And that is the benefit of using Plotter. There were some comments. I don't want to answer them. I use plotters when it comes to this stuff. Obviously, I can do a video in 2 hours from start to finish. That is the benefit to this. If I was to hand cut this and do it my traditional way, which I do it all the time when needed, I would never finish one of these in 2 hours. We're going to keep this background super simple. I'm going to streak it. Basically, when you look at the file, you can see the way the flag is rolling, okay? So the flag is rolling across these kind of axes. You know, this kind of folding here, this is coming here, this is coming here, this is coming here. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to run with those same directions. And I can even just kind of have it more of a graphic. I'm not trying to do a realistic flag. I'm just trying to kind of get a fun background. Something that will just let the Battlefield cross pop off of. And this is something I've had in the can for a while. I've been wanting to do this Battlefield cross file for quite a while. Which is why I kind of postponed it, because I was half ready. And, you know, whenever I do memorial work, I try not to half-ass it. I try to make sure that I'm giving it 100% and giving it my best, because I want to make sure I honor what it's for. A lot of family members who served, especially my uncles, my Uncle Al, my Uncle Donald, who served in Vietnam, and many other family members along the way, my cousin Al, and many others. So I take it seriously for their memory, my grandfather's memory, my wife's grandfather. Just, you know, I don't want to half-ass it. So if I'm going to do a memorial piece, and I think you've seen some of my memorial bikes, I don't mess around with them. I try to take them to the next level as much as possible. So I'm just leaving some negative space, kind of white. I'm just basically streaking the blue. You could do all sorts of stuff here. You could tatter it up. You could weather it. You could like put some water staining on it and just have fun. You can do all sorts of stuff with it. I'm going to keep it pretty clean, but you do you. Whatever you want to do it, you know, you do you. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to pull these stars right now. And then I'm going to pull the stripes. Now what I'm going to do is I'll back mask this blue. And what I'm doing here, and I do this with solvent and water, I'm pulling the mask now. This is pretty much cured. I can almost tape over it now, but I'm not going to. As I'm doing this, the paint can cure a little longer before I backtrack. And then I'm going to cover it up. I'm going to pick out the red stripes. We're going to do the red. And again, this color was cerulean blue. Illustration colors by Createx. This is an aluminum panel, 12 by 18, with a 3/4 inch border. And that's just been taped off. And then it was prepped with a gray and, well, red and gray Scotch-Brite just to get everything. So you notice when I'm pulling this mask off, because it doesn't overly stick to itself, I can pull the green off the blue without pulling the blue off the background. And that's really key to this trick. Because a lot of the stuff online, you try to do this with, a lot of the cheaper stuff tries to pull itself up. It leaves glue behind. With water-based, it's not as bad, but like I do a lot of solvent work. All you guys know, I float back and forth between House of Color and Createx paints depending on the project. My studio here, where I film this, is in my house, so I'm not going to be spraying solvent paint in my house. So that's why I'm not using House of Color. Now, if I was using House of Color, this mask wouldn't be a problem, but some brands are. So brands like, I don't know about Aura Foil, but Aura Cow, which I think is a similar brand, Aura Cow, most of their paint masks doesn't play well with solvent. it's okay. But if you have like outgassing clear going on, I've had major issues with it leaving glue behind. So what happens is when you put masking on top of an outgassing solvent paint, the chemicals coming off the solvent react with the glue on the back of the vinyl. It's a 12 by 18 panel. So 12 inches wide, 18 inches tall. So what happens is that solvent outgassing reacts with the glue on the back of the vinyl and sometimes strips it off. So you go to pull the vinyl off, and I know I got a few guys here this has happened to. You pull the mask off and all the friggin' glue stays behind. And it is an absolute mess to deal with. Mike Gillette, how are we doing, sir? Just going to drive. I actually have to work tonight. I don't work tonight. Well, thank you for popping in. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So, thank you for popping in, checking it out. Catch us on the replay. Everyone say hi to Mike at the end of the replay so he can be happy. Orifo makes Aura Mask 810. Not cheap. Yeah, so the 810 series is like the clear gray, I think it is, or it's the white. That stuff has a lot of problems with solvent. So if you have outgassing solvent, especially catalyzed clears or 2K products, I've had that strip the glue right off the vinyl. So I never use Oracal products on curing solvents. It's always a problem. No, it's not super cheap. This stuff is more money, but it never has a problem. So, right tool for the job. Yeah, the clear gray. Yeah, so the 810. So I don't love the clear, I used to love the clear gray, the 810 clear gray, until I got a hold of this. I used to use the Gerber clear blue, and then there was some no-name, clear blue I used to use. But if you need a transparent, there's no better mask than this. I can confidently say that. The only thing about this, and I tell people, we've had some people talk about it, is I cut it the day I'm using it. This stuff is incredibly soft. It is incredibly flexible. If you cut it and you're in a hot environment and you have it sitting on your bench for 2 or 3 days, it may shrink up a little. Your cut gap may go from a cut gap to like a 32nd or 16th inch gap. I just pulled the wrong stripes. Son of I pulled the wrong stripes, so what I'm going to have to do...
You did?
I was supposed to pull the red stripes and not the white stripes. So, we're going to do this by hand. They don't have time to fire the plotter up and cut a new one. So you guys are going to see how I would attack this by hand. So you guys who have taken my class, the difference between a professional and amateur, a professional knows how to fix their F-ups. Well, this is one of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this as my guide to hand cut. So you're about to see hand cutting. So I'm going to use all the FBS tonight. This is what's nice about the FBS Gold. The gold is also transparent. It's also super thin. The drawback to it, for a lot of us, it is not super flexible. So on a gas tank, it's a little harder to use. But for this, we'll be fine. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put this on. I'll blow that right into position. This is live TV, kids. Nothing but net. Just go. Just go, just go. I could have easily just said, F it. Well, we can't do that. He is actually human. Yes, man. I am. And here's the thing. There were some comments made. We won't get on who made comments and things like that. But that some people only do things with plotters. Well, some people only do things with plotters because A, they know how to use them, B, they know how to be efficient with them, and C, they know how to do it by hand. They just choose to do it this way so they can do a complete painting in 2 hours, live. But if you didn't know how to do it by hand, I probably would have pulled the power cord by now. Mike Manning, thank you very much. So, this is how before I had a plotter, this is how I did it. It was put it down, draw it out, and hand cut it. So, I am going to hand cut it. It's going to take a little extra time. And when you hand cut, see, I always put this ball tape. Thank you, Mike. A little ball tape. It helps you rock it, almost like a pin stripping brush. See how I'm doing this? It kind of helps me turn. And I'm just going to follow along. This is the kind of key one where it matters because I don't want to overlap the blue too much, and I don't want to peak with the white. And I'm going to release pressure. I'm still got a downwards pressure there, but less because I'm going across something that's cut. And I didn't really have to do this one because that's white, but I'm just kind of showing you how I'm going across. So now what I got to do is basically I'm pulling out the red. Okay, so I'm just one at a time. You can see it. This is the one I should have pulled out. Boom, it's all good. Crash course in cutting, exactly. But here's the thing, man. It's, you know, this is part of custom painting. You know, everyone's gonna have a problem. You're gonna make a mistake. It's custom. As much as I try to plan and make these things somewhat dummy-proof online, so it's just easy, it not always is. Sometimes you just gotta wing it. And traditional hand techniques, like I said, I use a plotter because it's efficient and it makes me able to do very complex paintings in a very short amount of time. Could I do it by hand start to finish? Hell yeah, that's how I started, man. And learn to fix your boo-boos on the fly. Yeah, man, it's you know, it happens. Even though I marked it out, I made the mistake. I didn't cry about it. I didn't throw things against the wall like I used to. And if Wayne LePage is here, Wayne LePage, who worked at my shop for quite a few years, he'll tell you, I threw lots of stuff against the wall. So if you didn't have this plotted, you could just drew this flag out, which is if, I think there's a few guys here, especially Leahy, because I was doing flag demos back when we were teaching at Bear Air. That was, I showed him how to draw it. I showed him how to lay it out, hand cut it, and go from there. Need a little more pressure there. There we go. Good, good, good. What we got? I started the same way. What's up, Jimmy? Where do you buy your panels? So, Brian, what I do is I have a sign shop idea with like a sign supplier, and what I do is I buy a 4x8 sheet of this sign material, which is this is Durabond or Alumicore, which is the PVC cord aluminum. And I buy a 4x8 sheet, which is your 110 bucks, and I have them cut it to a bunch of 12 by 18 inch panels or 18 by 24 inch panels, so I have them. It's much cheaper that way than buying individual panels. Sometimes I'll buy 18 by 24s. The nice thing about this stuff cuts and breaks as easy as like glass with a glass cutter. So you can literally just like score it front and back and snap it in half. It's killer. Dave at Coast Airbrush carries this as well. Alright, how long did that take to fix? what was that, 5 minutes? I'm not keeping track. Was that draw or draw? You know what, Matt? I'm from Boston. I say drawer or draw. You want me to say draw? I don't.
Drawer?
I draw shit.
Oh. I thought you meant like...
Yeah,
draw.
when I say draw or drawer, it's the same word. But wise asses named Matt want to make fun of me. Cheers. All right. So, like I said, that didn't take long to fix. I got everything worked out. Cut my stripes. No, I didn't need to stop and go replot it, and just worked it from there. Now, same thing. I'm going with that same stripe, and I've done flag demos before, so I'm not spending a ton of time here. There's a whole 2-hour how-to or an hour-and-a-half how-to on how to do an American flag. That. I'm not going to spend too much time here, but again, I know the highlights coming down here, so I'm not putting a ton of red here. I'm not trying to fill it with red. It looks a little bit more pink and fuchsia online. It's not. It's always a balance, correcting color. I'm a painter, not a videographer, so I do my best. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate it. You're not the first one to call me out on that and make mention. Scott LaSalle loves making mention of that every time I see him. So I'm using the Pyrol Red, or I'm probably mispronouncing it. Just a bastion. I don't have an accent. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, compared to other people in Massachusetts, you really don't have much of that.
Mine's not bad. Mine's not bad. It can...
It can, like, come out in certain words, but most of the time, we don't really have that, like, stereotypical Boston accent that a lot of
because
people
that's like
actually have.
Like I explain to people in Vegas, because they all ask, that thing you hear on TV and online is very small parts of the state.
But most of Boston does actually.
A lot of Boston,
like
South Shore. Like if you hear Dave and Jody Perowitz talk, which I love them, they have some of the harshest accents. Sully from Godsmack, man, I used to hang out with him at some of the bars. You used to have trouble understanding him, man. Sometimes it's like, what'd you just say? I have a feeling in Medford. Yeah, Medford, you definitely get it in Medford. You're close to Boston. When you get closer to Boston, Dorchester, the North End, Southie, that's when it really starts kicking in hard. Or hard. It starts kicking in hard. A lot stronger down the South Shore, I think. I think Steve would agree with that. So if you're doing flags and you want to really up your game a little bit, a little trick, and I learned this from Rhino, is you want to do stitches. You can just take a razor blade like this and just go along some of the edges. Do a quick scratch. Then you can shadow them later and it'll give you that stitch feel. Guys with motorcycles love this. They're like, you put every stitch in the flag. Just helps sell it a little more. It's still a little wet and working a little faster than I want to just to catch back up. But you get the point. I ran to a Canadian, see his accent was a bit thicker than mine. And I find out it was Maggie. That's funny.
I've actually discovered recently that for some reason I say sorry like I'm Canadian.
Huh.
It's really weird. Because I've never met a Canadian in my life.
Is that transparent mask okay? Yes, Shine. That's why I use FBS. FBS doesn't care if you're using solvent or water. It's compliant with both. Now, a lot of other companies are as well. Like, I have very little problem with Avery. I have very little problem with 3M Master Gerber when it comes to solvent or water. I do have problems with some of the Aurifil, Oracal, I think it's FTC, and a few other brands with solvent.
Which is the better cutter for scratching, X-Acto or Slice?
Doesn't matter. So I think the slices are a little softer. They're not as harsh. Honestly, when Rhino does it, what he uses is, what is it, the number 9 blade, which is the round blade. That one gives you actually like a softer cut, so it's actually a little nicer to use. I want to say it's a number 9. I could be mistaken. I don't know my blade numbers super well. And I want to pull this mask off. So if you guys downloaded this and you didn't have a plotter, you'd be hand cutting this based off the PNG or Jpeg printouts, and the process would remain the same. I just bought a slice knife. Yeah, it's definitely strange. Yeah, I got the number 11 blades for it, Steve. They work cool. I did like a smartass thing. I can't cut my fingers with these, and I started raking them. I was doing a video and a while back, and if you look really close, like, look, I can't cut myself with this. I'm like, honk, and they started bleeding. That's what you get from me.
Did you actually post that?
Yeah, no, I was doing it live.
Oh no!
I'm like, look, you can't even cut yourself with this. Ha 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 ha. Oh, oh. And I just cut away. I was bleeding. We've done X-Acto stitch thick for a long time. Yeah. What you use for all depends on the substrate degree. Yeah. So, like Carl, like I like the number 11s, but I think it's the 9s is the more like rounded blade, the one that kind of just smooths out. We and Rhino were doing that, and Rhino's the one that showed me it initially for doing like the stars and making them, you know, scratching them. I do believe the ore mask is designed for water-based. Yeah, yeah. Oh, so that's the problem. It's designed for water-based, but it doesn't really. It's not as clear that it states that. So just be careful with solvent with it. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm going to do a candy black, and a candy black. This has 5% deep purple mixed into it, so it's got that kind of purplish tone. I like doing this over the flags because it gets a more natural shadow. And I'm just going to go with that and kind of address these folds. And come off those stitches with some shadows. My goal here is to really separate the BattleField cross from the background and really kind of get that to stand off. It kind of drop shadow in place. So you can take your time here. Yeah, but you can already see it's starting to get that nice kind of radius. You kind of go just under. I'm just going to spray it all on the edge and then come a little bit out like the boots are just there. Come around here. I got a little bleed through right there. We're just gonna hide that happy little bleed. Little Bob Ross happy little mistake there. Yeah, scratching tools, wood sticks, erasers. Man, there's a million things you could use for this. Like here, I'm gonna just kind of come off here like this, and we're just gonna come out here. And I gotta just get that separation of that guy. It's mass compliant if you have the right license. Or it depends when you got it. Like I said, I'm not spending a ton of time on this because the flag is just kind of the background. But you can see it's already starting to get that nice kind of rolled look to it. Like I said, this has a little purple in it, more purple than normal. The actual color I'm using for the Battlefield Cross is I'm going to use candy black. Thanks, Matt. Yeah, I started as a t-shirt painter, so daggers are basically like signing my name. In the 90s, I was doing t-shirts in the malls. I got really good at doing daggers. Mr. Voss, how you doing? I forgot a piece of mask here. Glad I found it now, because the other time I'd find it is when I clear it and sand it. Oh, it does. It does suck when that happens. Thank you. Yeah, you can already kind of see that. See, that dagger, not good. We're going to roll that right into a fold. That looks a little better. We might put some white into this later. Like I said, the flag is secondary to everything else in this painting. Now, when you pull masks, sometimes you do get a little surface tension from the mask, and it leaves a way for the overspray to kind of catch. If you're having that problem, this is when you want to do like a wax grease remover. For me, the best wax grease remover I have found for this material is House of Colors KC10. The KC10 just doesn't mess with the paint too much. Cleans the surface really well, and I don't get a bunch of, like, it doesn't wipe any paint away. I think that's cool. I think that kind of gives it, this guy, needs to be a little bit softer. Just a little. I want to shade that whole side more. So this whole side, I'm going to cover this up. I'm going to hold it off. See what I'm doing? I'm holding the stencil away from the surface. And now I'm going to let that whole side roll off there. Cool. All right, what time are we at here, guys? We're at 8:47. Nice. Not too shabby. All right, so this is straight candy black, which has a purple tone, which is why I added a little purple to the mix. Now, this is going to be really hard to see, and I can't help that. A little horizon line there. Okay, so let's see if I can bring up the reference image here. Let's see here. Kaylee, can you put reference image in number 2? Bring reference image.
Oh, there it is. Number 2?
I think number 2. No, the other reference image. The one that's not the pumpkin.
Oh.
There you go. All right, so yeah. So
That's where that is.
this actual Battlefield Cross is not the same one I modeled the image off of. This is actually in my town. I actually took a picture of it a few hours ago. That's right down on Church Street, actually.
Really?
That image. Yep, that Battlefield Cross is right on Church Street in our town. So I decided for reference material to use that as the reference image. Go from there. Oh, so Michelle, what I did is I had the candy black mixed up, and I did, Mr. Barker, yeah, rat tails or dagger strokes, depending which way you want to call it. I learned it as rat tails, actually, not daggers. So it was a candy black, Michelle, and then I added some candy deep purple to it for the flag, and now I'm going back to this. It's just going to be straight black. That way I have some different tone. Okay, so the key to this with all my videos is you got to determine what's furthest in the background, okay? So if I look at this, I start identifying what's the deepest things. Like, so I know inside the mask is the deepest, so I'm going to start there. I know all these little guys are inset, so I'm going to pull all of those. I'm going to pull this guy because they're lower, and the lower ones I pull first, and I work my way out of it. Okay, so with that in mind, let's get started. So I'm just going to pull everything I want first. So that's inside the helmet. Okay, so I'm pulling there. I want to pull inside all these little guys. This probably takes a little bit of the mundane to do. I try to get this stuff out early. Between Battlefield Crosses and other paintings, I've done so many different variations of the AR that you kind of get a feel for how to do them pretty quick. And look, these are not photorealistic ARs, okay? They are representations of them. They have different variations. And I'm not trying to be photorealistic on it. If I wanted to, that would take a lot longer with more photo reference. Not impossible, but not worth doing realistically when you're painting on motorcycles and cars. We want a little bit flashier. We want a little bit more pop than a photorealistic print. Dave, you're welcome, man. Yeah, like I said, anyone who wants to download this file, I don't have it in there, but if you use Valor at checkout, you'll get half off this vector set. And I trust only people who've served or continue to serve in various ways will use that. Anyone else, you want to use it, do you, but I just figured I'd do the honor system and let people who serve use it, and I don't want to police it. I don't want people to prove it. You know who you are if you've served and you've done things for this country that deserve it for Veterans Day, so please take the discount and enjoy it. Those who didn't, don't be a you-know-what. Okay, so I'm going to do inside the grip. Well, not grip, but kind of the, I'm horrible with the terminology, sorry. So, a lot of cylindrical shading. I'm going to come right down. I'm going to start with the regular cylindrical shading like this. You want to lessen the cylindrical shading, look at your airbrush, man. It's all there in front of you. All those lines, then the chrome, it's already referenced for you. So now I'm going to hit the tops of all of these because they're inset. I'm going to come around and just hit the tops.
Hand guard.
Hand guard, thank you.
That was Carl.
Absolutely, Matt. Absolutely. So I know these fins here are higher, so that's why I'm drop shadowing underneath them. When I pull that mask, it's going to give me that lift. Really dark down the bottom. Oh, gotta get inside the helmet here. Mostly black in here. I keep it black the whole thing with the first pass. But then I make much darker up top. The video's still moving good, right? My YouTube preview is a little off. So I just want to make...
YouTube seems good for me.
Okay, good.
And Facebook's still doing well.
Wow, Facebook's still on, huh?
Yeah, it's doing well.
Nice. I don't think we have anyone watching. Do we have anyone watching on Facebook?
3.
Oh, 3. We got 52 over here on YouTube. Where...
I think Nano's on. Nano was on.
Yes, so I did early. Hi, Mom, if you're still there. Hi, Mom. Okay, good. We got the magazine here. It's not a clip, even though people call it a clip. Magazine. You ever wipe your art off wax and spoon and realize you grab? Oh yeah, yeah. I've done it with full half-done motorcycles, right? It's not fun. But when you've wiped, when you thought you used a wax and grease remover, and you use lacquer thinner halfway through or near the end of a job, yep, done it.
Ah, that's horrible.
I don't know any custom painter who hasn't been in this business a long time that hasn't done that. And if you haven't, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time before you will. It's kind of like using a chainsaw. It's not if you're going to cut yourself with a chainsaw. It's when you're going to cut yourself with a chainsaw. It's going to happen.
Everyone who's used a chainsaw.
It's like riding a motorcycle. It's not when you're going to have a crash. It's, you know.
Riding horses.
Yeah, Kaylee's rode horse for years. It's not if she's going to fall off the horse. It's when she's going to fall off the horse.
You can't ride a horse for a long time and never fall off.
No. And actually, you want to fall off. You want to learn how to fall off.
At our barn, the first time you fall off, or at least it used to be, the first time you fall off, you got a prize.
Yeah, so you got a prize, like hit the dirt club.
Hit
the dirt club. And the rules were you weren't a real rider until you fell 5 times.
8.
No. There was like 5 for a rider, and then
8 for a real rider, or something like that.
Yeah, it was like
8 was the milestone.
Yeah, like 5 was like you ride horses, and then after 8 falls, you actually rode horses.
I remember how proud I was when I fell for the 8th time.
We'll make this a Woodstock. Image Airbrush School. How you doing, man? Thanks for popping in, Bill. So for this, I'm going to give this kind of a wooden stock look. So I'm just going to put some simple, again, this is more representational. It's not photorealism. I'm just giving it a look. In custom motorcycle work, we do this a lot. Or you put lacquer thinner rag in your back pocket. Yeah, we've all done that stupid shit, man. And it is not fun. It is not fun. Okay, what am I going to do now? So what I keep doing is I keep looking back here to see what I got going on. Let me switch up to my side-by-side. That's not side. There we go. That's a little better view. Alright, let's get in here. Okay, we're going to pull right in here. This is kind of like the inside edge of the handle of the stock, the upper, and then we're going to pull inside the trigger here. Yeah, man, it's my pleasure. So just shading little bits in here. Alright, so now I gotta kind of pick and choose what I got going on here. We're gonna pull the bottom of the grip out. So a lot of times I do this area kind of quick and we'll go back in and do a lot of detailing. Thanks, James. Alright, you're starting to put way too many possibilities of messing things up into the ecosystem here. Let's back out of that and be positive. We never mess things up. We're professionals and everything is awesome. Hence the Lego movie.
I knew you were going to say that.
Everything is awesome. Don't want to get demonetized.
Yeah, please.
So we won't sing it anymore. Where's my electric eraser? I don't see it. Oh, is it?
Is it out there?
Yeah, I think it's right. I think I don't see my Medea one. Is it right? With the tape around it? Nope. Oh yeah, there we go.
There's no eraser.
No, with that one, with the tape. Yep. And is there any other one? Lift up all that junk. See if there's another one. No. Alright, this is not my good eraser. This is my Sakura. Oh, it's that one.
It was right there.
Couldn't see it. So, my water eraser. Happy accidents. Lovely eraser. Thank you, honey. Cool, got that. What else we got here? What else can I pull? Let's pull. I'm gonna pull this stuff. Oh, let's pull the mag. Nope, let's pull around the magazine. I'm gonna pull this guy out and see where that leads. Look under the pile of stuff. That's where you find it. In my studio, that is exactly where everything is.
That's my life.
Under the pile of... No, that's your bedroom.
That's
under
my,
the pile of stuff.
That's my life.
You don't make mistakes. You just change your mind. Craig Frush. Yep. Yep. Craig is right. I think I remember Craig saying that to me in 2000. I took as one of his workshops in 2000. I think, pretty sure the one I took was the last Atlantic City workshop, which was the Vargas Awards year. So the Bill asked a question to Ron Bill, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so the material is either Durabond or Alumacore. It's a PVC core. Bill, yeah. So this is, so it's aluminum on front and back, and it's got a black PVC core in the middle of it, or an ABS core. Super light. It's actually now cheaper than aluminum. This stuff used to be about $40 more per sheet than aluminum, but with the cost of aluminum now, these are actually cheaper to get per 4x8 sheet.
Aluminum prices are up?
Aluminum prices are way up, yes.
Is that why it's hard to find tinfoil?
Aluminum's gone up with everything else because aluminum is a major commodity. And all major commodities have gone up. Thanks, Joe. I'm going to do here. Let's pull the bottom of the magazine. And you just see, I'm just working my way through. You know, I did my dragon one once, and I actually called it paint by numbers because you pick in the right order, it's super easy. But when I named it paint by by numbers, people didn't download it much, so I won't do that like that anymore, unfortunately. I used to love paint by numbers as a kid, man.
I love paint by numbers. They're great. You don't have to really think.
No, but you do learn. You learn,
Yeah, it's good for learning where things are supposed to go.
There's a reason I pull. Why are we rotating? I fell off horse the second time. Saddle wasn't tight. Saddle's not tight is a different type of falling.
That almost happened to me once.
You've had a few of those.
On Danny.
You've had a few of those almost happen.
At that point, I just dismounted because I would rather dismount than fall off and possibly be trampled.
Ooh, it's raining out.
I think the horse I fell off the most was Danny.
Danny used to fall off or jump off because he was an asshole.
I jumped off of him a lot.
Because Danny was an asshole.
I fell off of him like twice.
Anyone watching from Taylor River Farm knows Danny was an asshole, but Kaylee rode Danny well. But sometimes you just have to jump off the damn horse because the horse is an asshole.
One time, it wasn't even like, I don't even know why I fell, but I went like 5 feet away. He just stopped and just flew.
No, that's because someone got in front of the rail and spooked him.
No, one of the guys walked by, but he was wearing a green shirt.
Yeah, he spooked him. And then Danny came over to you like, sorry.
He did that every time.
Well, no, that time he was really sorry.
He was.
He thought he was going to become glue at that point.
That was really bad.
That was really mean.
That was really
sorry.
mean. We don't turn our horses into glue at Taylor River. Disclaimer now. We don't do that. We don't do that here.
No. Yeah, the metal prices are really up, but this, you know, which actually made this stuff pretty reasonable because, like I said before, it was a lot more money per sheet. But again, a 4x8, dude, a 4x8 sheet of this stuff, I get 21 panels out of this. So at 90 bucks, 21 panels, a few bucks a sheet. It is a small price still, even at the current rate. It is still cheaper than going to Home Depot, getting 12x18 aluminum and priming it, basing it, doing all that shit. This stuff's ready to go. So we had a horse that would hold his breath when you tried to cinch the saddle up. Oh yeah, no, horses do that a lot. Where they'll keep their belly expanded so you can't put the girth on.
Gabby would go from like a size 36 to a 44.
Yeah, it's funny.
I don't know how she could stretch her stomach that much, but it was the most annoying thing ever.
It's like, oh no, you're getting the saddle on. Whether you
Mares do it so much worse.
Well, because they're ladies.
Mares do everything much worse. Not worse, but like...
So look, there's a lot of detail you could do in here. You can do grips, you can do a whole bunch of stuff. This is just a nice representation of a Battlefield cross. And I hope you guys download this and use it. I haven't decided what I'm doing with this painting. I don't think I'm going to take... I don't know if I'm going to take bids on this one or not.
Yeah, I feel like it's not...
Michelle, you still in the house? Is Michelle still here?
I don't know. There's Michelle Miller and a different Michelle. But... Or no, that's Michael.
Yeah.
That says Michael. Sorry.
There she is.
Okay.
Hey, so I made up my mind, and I want to make sure you were here first. I'm not taking bids on this one. This one is going to Michelle. Michelle's dealt with a lot, especially for our country, and has dealt with enough sacrifice that she deserves to have this more than anyone could bid on it. So Michelle, this one's for you in honor of your son. Thank you for everything. We love you and you know it. So after this, I will make sure I have your address, and this one is coming to you. So the rest of you all download this file and play with this file. Do a painting for someone who served and give it to them. It feels good. It's something we should do more often. The rest of you all can help out with super chats. Sorry, honey. Just know we're there for you. Little highlights on the hand grip. I actually have an ink eraser in here for the blue ones. That's my Sakura. And then my Iwata one is a softer. The Sakura is actually a little too aggressive. Well, sometimes we all need to show it to Michelle. Words are great, but sometimes actions are equally as important. Thank you, Cody. Appreciate that. Like I said, don't forget, you can download this file, use Valor. If you've served, continue to serve, or you're any branch, you're in police, fire, anything, Coast Guard, anything that serves this country, please use that discount code because you all do more than I do for others, so that's the least I could do. And plus, with what Michelle's dealt with for the past 2 weeks, you deserve a little something. I know it's plotted, not, you know, but, you know, I think it's cool. And it took way too long to get Michelle stickers, so I think I owe her. Like I said, it's the least I could do. Where'd my blade go? Where'd it go? No, my pick tool. Keep my pick tool. Ah, there. Thank you. Chaotic, thank you very much.
Oh, Jimmy.
Jimmy, thank you so much, my friend. That is much appreciated. Gary, thank you. Like I said, go download this file, play with it. Paint a painting for a veteran, someone who served. There's a bunch of stuff in there from the IwaJima Memorial to various things. Please use them and do something for your local. You're gonna feel good. It's good practice. Yes, on the sticker. You didn't give me a sticker. Here's a sticker. Thank you everyone for those super chats. That helps tremendously. I still got a whole bunch of paintings to freaking polish and get them out to everyone. They're almost there. That's working out pretty well, I think. I actually should have pulled this out sooner because that's actually behind the stock. Thanks, Matt. Matt, really appreciate it. Thank you. Michelle, we can talk later. I'll get all your info, and if you can give me, if we can get his maybe his service tags numbers, I will try to put them in the small little area as well. I gotta stop by. Yeah, I got everything's in the sand and buff stage, and I have no other work next week other than that and doing my bathroom in the house. So I'm gonna get all this stuff out to everyone because I'm slacking. Thankfully, I have patient followers. Dave, thank you very much. Super, super appreciated. Okay, now I gotta figure out where to go here. I know you're joking, but I still want to get them done so everyone's happy. So the way these shoes are done, they're not shoes. I shouldn't say shoes. Sorry. The way the boots are done here, they're pretty simplistic. How I did them, it's got representation of laces. So what I've always done is I've kind of shaded across these sections where the eyelets are. And then I go in afterwards with some racing and just a little freehand kind of loops here to signify like where the buckles are kind of going in and where everything's kind of tied to. Just a little here, go across and kind of make the laces. Some flood strokes here in the end. Probably could have pulled these out first. We'll just go back in. Hey Z, thank you very much. That's I love that guy. That's cool. No, they're really. I really thank you for those. That's really appreciative. Glad I finally got those turned back on because I didn't know they were off.
Oh my god, were they?
Yeah, they were off for like a month, and I was like, oh, no one super chat me anymore. No one loves me. And then I think it was Honey was like, no, I don't see the icon anymore. And the last update on my YouTube like account, you had to like basically go back in and turn them back on, and I didn't know that, so so it's off.
I have a question.
You have a question. Kaylee's got a question.
This is just about like YouTube stuff. Do you have to like go and like collect your donations after, or do they like automatically get sent to your?
No. So the way it works, for those who are just getting, if you're starting a YouTube channel and you're doing monetization like this with the whole super chat, once you reach a certain level of subscribers, you can apply for monetization, and then they review your account, and you have to set up an account with them, and then when it reaches over 100 per month, it gets transferred to your checking account. So you set up an account that it goes to. is how it works. So you get paid out. You get a payout every month at the end of the month, as long as you've reached 100. If you didn't reach 100, you don't lose. It just carries over to the next month. That's how it works.
Ask, because I learned that apparently on Twitch, you have to manually collect your donations. Like you have to like go in and like get them approved basically to get them. And a bunch of like really big streamers didn't know that, so they had like millions of dollars just sitting there from donations.
Yeah, I'm not
for,
sure.
Like 3 years.
Yeah, no. With this, it's automatic as long as you've done all the setups and you basically made everything work, so they know who you are, where you are, all this stuff.
That's good.
Thank you, Michelle. We love you too. You know that. You got a big community here. I know a bunch of us are assholes at times, but we're lovable assholes. And that's why I'm glad I made this tonight. I think it has a bigger impact doing it tonight than yesterday. And with social media being all over the place these days with nasty shit and everything, we need to step back and appreciate things that are good. You're welcome, man. I appreciate everyone checking it out. Make sure you share and subscribe and tell people about it. And all that stuff helps this algorithm grow. I'm close to 8,000 subscribers now. I'd like to hit... My goal is to hit 10 by the end of the year. I don't think that's going to happen. But I definitely should be able to hit 8 by the end of the year. There's 9:30. Anyone who donated here tonight who didn't serve prior, please use that discount code VALOR for taking care of those who did serve us. Download this file if you'd like. It's going to be like $16 or something like that to download it instead of $25. So please feel free to use that code as a thank you for taking care of Michelle and others. The code's good to the end of the weekend. I would love to see so many people like grab this file and go paint this for someone and give it to them. It would be awesome. You're welcome, man. Thank you for chiming in. Alright, now I gotta find... Where's the rest of these? I'm gonna pull these little centers. We're almost done, guys. Almost done. Dun, dun, dun. Can't see. I'm blind. There you are. Mm-hmm. It's very efficient. Like I said, I've taken the plotter approach that how I used to do things by hand cutting. I just replace that hand cutting on the surface by designing that in the computer and plotting it. That way it's more efficient on the substrate. The paint jobs are usually a lot stronger and sturdier because you're not cutting directly on the metal and putting cut marks in, so it's a huge benefit. It's one of the benefits to using a plotter, especially when you're automotive. And a lot of guys who aren't automotive don't understand the reason behind it, but there is a technical reason why I do it this way, because it makes the paint jobs a lot more stronger and less risk of having a delamination problem down the road.
Did you give away all the panels from SEMA?
Yeah, most of those got away. A few of them went away. And then I just gave them to Iwata. All the people from Iwata who help out and make that, I let them kind of fight it out amongst themselves who gets what. Because they do so much there as well, bringing me out and all that. So I just kind of tell them to set up a Thunderdome ring and take this, and take the paintings and do what they want with them. And some passerbys got a hold of some, and I did so many of them. I think I did like 20 or 30 different pieces that week. I don't know what you said, Luis. I'm hoping, thank you.
So bien, so that says bien, which is good, so probably. And then from Venezuela.
Thank you for coming in, Venezuela. Much appreciated.
Saludos is probably something like salutations.
I'm going to put some buttons on here, then I'm going to pull the dog tag out and take care of that. And we're going to call this thing done on a Friday night. It's coming along. Thank you, honey. Honey can be my translator. Yeah, so I did blue masking and then...
I think it's cheers from Venezuela.
Ah, thank you. So I'm going to do all these. And the laces. Just make it look cool. I have a real, if anyone needs, I have a really good vector of the Marine logo as well. I don't know the logistics of putting that online for download, but I should do that at some point if I can. I have to look into that. Alright, now I'm going to do the dog tag. Make sure it really stands off nice. It's just pretty simple. And keep this one clean. If I can, I'll try to put numbers in here, Rochelle. Oh, that's cool, Dave. Thank you. The sound of the airbrush for many months. Yep, most of my work here is done with the eclipses. Love my eclipses, and I gotta do next week. I gotta film this one. I just got one of these. I haven't even opened it yet. This is the new Takumi eclipse, which is a side feed eclipse. I haven't even opened it. I'm gonna do an unboxing next week and use that. Jimmy, thank you. Thank you everyone who super chatted. It totally helps. I don't think you realize how much. 8 Airbrush ladies, you're just getting started, man. They'll always serve you well, though. I got some going back, man. I got airbrushes going back 30 years. I still use. So, Carl, there are downloads and there are websites you can get it from, official ones. So I tend not to do logos where they're actually, I don't know the legality of doing them if it's not through like a legit source. So I tend not to do those. But there's a bunch you can buy those from. So I'm just going to shade the chain, and then to make the chain look really cool, we're just going to go and highlight each link. This is where the eraser really comes in handy. Way better than using white. So definitely, guys, go over to McKayFineArt.com, download this file, paint something for a vet, paint it for someone in your family. The download's cheap; it's $15 or so if you use Valor this weekend. And if you need any help, let me know. Look back to this video. I think, kitties, that is about it. Whoops. Where is this one? There we go. So, yeah, this is a really cool project. Like I said, I've been waiting to do this download for quite a while. And I haven't. And this was kind of the perfect time to do it. So, I want to thank everyone who served this country, past, present, and future. Those who aren't with us anymore, my family and yours. I hope this was a fun project to watch, an educational one. I really hope you guys download these files and use them in future projects and things like that. Have a great weekend. Thanks someone who served, and we will see you next week, Thursday night, Airbrush Down Dirty Tricks. And we'll have something new and exciting. I gotta figure out something to paint. So any ideas, feel free to shoot them my way. Make sure you subscribe, share, turn notifications on, show this to people, and we'll grow this channel and get even more stuff going. So have a great weekend. Michelle, thank you for your family sacrifice. We love you. We'll talk. We'll get this painting off to you. Happy Veterans Day to everyone. Thank you, and have a great, great evening. And thank you, everyone, for those amazing super chats. Feel free to use that code on me, Valor, on the download and get these files and get painting. All right. Have a great night, all. See you guys. Till next time.